Hi, welcome back to my JavaScript tutorial series. In this video, we're going to talk about JavaScript syntax, variables, statements, comments, and operators. So let's go to our htdoc shortcut. In the desktop, right-click, New Folder, and we're going to type in Learn Basic JavaScript. Next, I want to go to Sublime Text 3. Click on Project, Add Folder to Project. We're going to click on Desktop and click on htdocs. Click on Learn Basic JavaScript. Select the folder and you are ready to all. I'm going to right-click on that. Click on New Folder. Type where to insert JavaScript. And then I want you right-click on that. Click on New File and Ctrl+S and double-click on where to insert JavaScript. We're going to name this index.html. Then I want to have Ctrl+N, Ctrl+S and type in main.js. And then you can open the folder here real quick. And then close the main.js file. In the index.html, I want you to type in HTML and tab. Okay, and so JavaScript can be in the head of the body section of HTML page. So just follow along with me. Here you don't have to type anything out, just hear my words. And if you want to type it out, you can. But you don't really need to because I'm going to be writing a function. So the first thing I would do is I'm going to type script. I'm going to open and close that. Okay, and then I'm going to do function, my function. And I'm going to do document dot get element by ID demo dot inner HTML equals paragraphs change. And I'm close that. Then what I do is I actually have to type out some HTML for this to work. So I'm going to do h1. This is a web page. Paragraph ID demo hello world. And then below that I'm going to do button. Type equals button. And I will do on click equals my function. Okay, and then I'm going to do try this. Because the button, I'm going to right-click, open in the browser. When I click it in, the paragraph change. So basically, what I did is I wrote a function. So my ID is demo and .inner HTML. And when I click it, or when I call it from the button, it's going to change the paragraph. So the reason I wrote all that out and showed you that is that we put all this in the head section. So that's one option, you can put content in the head section. The other thing you can do is you can put it in the body. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to copy this and cut it with the Ctrl+X, and I'm going to bring it into the body and put it below this content. So what I'm going to do is I paste, then I right-click, open in the browser. And when I click it, it works. So it really depends on what you're writing, whether or not you choose to put the JavaScript in the head tag or in the body. If it's a lot of script, I recommend actually putting it on an external document. That way the page will load faster. Because what it's doing is, when you load any document on the web, it's reading top to bottom. So if you have a whole bunch of scripts in the head tag, it's going to take a while to load everything. So those are the two options, the head tag and the body tag, if you want to put it on an internal document. Now, if we want to put in an external document, then here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to put this function. I want to grab all this. We're going to cut it and Ctrl+S to save. So I'm going to go to the main.js file. We're going to paste it in there. And instead of putting anything in here, let's do this. Inside the script tag, and then type src main.js. Then I'm the right-click and open in the browser. I'm going to try it. There you go, it works. So you can see here how the script tag is kind of grayed out and you can see where it is. There it is right there. So if you go to the debugger, and then you go inside the file on this, and write in here. Then you have the function, my function, document.getElementById, demo.innerHTML. And then this is what it's going to change to. So we're calling for the ID of demo on the HTML page. You want to display it on the HTML page as well. Now, if you want what I do here, when I click on try this, then it's moving. And if we do it here, let's try one more time here with the inspector active. So if I go down here and I try this, there you go. So it works. So that's where to insert JavaScript. You can put it in the head tag, the body tag, or an external document, which I highly recommend. If it's a lot of JavaScript, if you're writing a big script, I would make it external, and I would make that a habit to put your files externally and internally. It's a preference because, again, if you have a lot of stuff, it's going to bug down your site and you want to optimize it for as much speed as possible. So then we are gonna make a new folder, and I'm gonna right click and click on new folder. Output. And I'm close that. And let's open Sublime, and we can close these files and go to output. Right click and click new file and type index.html. And then I'm going to do new file again, Control S, and that's main.js. Okay, I want to type in HTML and tab. And now what we're gonna do is, we're going to talk about JavaScript display possibilities. So JavaScript can display data in different ways. So the first display possibility we're gonna talk about is inner HTML. So let's go inside of this file here, and I'm going to comment inner HTML. Now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna make a script tag here. And inside of that script tag, document.getElementById. And let's do test, and we're gonna do .innerHTML equals 11 plus 20. Right? And then I'm going to put in a paragraph tag with an ID of test. Now, if I right-click and open in the browser, we can see 31. So if we inspect this real quick and go to the console, it's not going to show anything because everything's working the way it's supposed to. But if we go here and then script, 11 plus 20 is 31, and that's what is this playing because we did document.getElementById, which is test, and you see how it filled out 31. But if I close this, we go here, we don't have anything there. So what it's doing is it's dynamically inputting information onto the web page. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Now, another way to do it is to use document.write. So what I want you to do with this one, you can leave this one here, but I want you to copy all of this and then return a couple times and paste it down here, and we're gonna change this to document.write. And then I want to delete all of this. And what I'm gonna do is, we're going to write document.write. And we're gonna do 5 plus 11. So if I right-click and open the browser, I got 31 from the previous example. And I have 16 for this example. So I inspect this. It's not going to show anything there because it's an internal document. So we have 5 plus 11, 11 plus 20. So close the tab. The next way we're going to talk about it is to use window.alert. So for window.alert, it's gonna be similar to that. So let's Control V to paste this down here. And I'm going to comment window.alert. And we're going to type window.alert 5 plus 20. And make sure you close it. And I want to right-click and open the browser. You can see it pops up a window. So if I hit OK, the window disappears. If I right-click and inspect this, it's nowhere to be found because it's an internal script. So it's not going to show anywhere else. Now, if I refresh, let's close this out, refresh. then it's going to pop up right there at 25. So let's close that out. And now we're going to try cancel that log. So copy this one here and go to line 25 and paste it, and we're going to do, instead of window.alert, we're going to do console.log. Okay, this is the fun part. So we're gonna do console.log and 10 plus 30. And the reason why I right-click and open in the browser here is, you see 20 there. Now if I inspect this, so what you're going to see is, you're going to see 40. If I go back to Sublime real quick, I did 10 plus 30. So 10 plus 30 is 40. It'll show up here. It'll print this off, and console.log is a great way to test and debug your JavaScript. I highly recommend using console.log first before you use anything else, because what it's basically for is debugging. That's the purpose of it. And you also have the console right here. So anything you write in console.log, it's going to show up in the console here, this console tab inside the web browser. And that's what it's built for. So if you type clear like this and hit enter, it will clear it out. So if I do console.log and 40, it's gonna show 40. So it's clear, and I'll refresh this, and then you see 40, because as soon as it's run in the console.log, because it wants the console to log it, and then display what is supposed to happen. And this is the way that you debug your site, so that you make sure that everything is working the way that you want it. It's a great way to test to make sure everything's working. So I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. And if you have any question, comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.